Hello guys, my name's Theo Goff, host of the Conquering Dyslexia podcast. Today we are continuing our series and speaking to an amazing woman called Kathleen. Now Kathleen is an expert at helping parents with their dyslexic children. I know she has had her own experience with it, and I'm friends with her and I'm following her story day after day, and she's continually putting out content to helping adults out there with dyslexia for their children and for themselves. What we speak about today is so valuable at understanding how you can overcome those challenges and how you can find the proper support you need. But I talked to her for about 20 minutes. But the reason why I'm really having a chat with her today is because we did a long summit interview with her. We talked about the steps to overcome for being a superstar dyslexic parent. If you want to watch that, go to conqueringdyslexia.net/summit. That's conqueringdyslexia.net/summit to get access to all these amazing interviews. Guys, I hope we enjoy today's episode with Kathleen. So the big question is this: how can dyslexics like us create a place, a community, a tribe where people at any stage of life can come and solve any challenge, amplify their strengths, and ultimately help them become who they were meant to be? Or in other words, conquer their dyslexia. That is the question, and this show is the answer. My name's Theo Goff, and welcome to the Conquering Dyslexia podcast. How are you doing, my friend?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing really, really amazing. I'm really excited we scheduled time to have a little conversation here because you were on Conquering Dyslexic Summit the other day in the interview that's happening on that Monday on the 15th going live. I'm really excited about it. And I was amazed that, because I've seen your Instagram before, I've seen what you're doing, but I was amazed to hear that you're only 10 years old and the insights, you have the insights, the attitude, the confidence, the whole shebang you had at that age, now is really, really inspiring to me. Because I would love for other kids, for other people out there who's got dyslexia, who's going through struggles, who struggles in the school system, and you know what I mean, and doesn't feel confident about themselves, doesn't do things. And I feel you'd be a great role model for the sort of the people out there. So if you had a message that you want to give them, what would that be?
Well, what I want to give to a lot of dyslexic kids are that you have to be yourself, and not everyone's going to hold your hand. Like what we talked about last time, advocating for yourself helps a lot. And another thing that you could do is, if you have a 9-year-old and they're dyslexic or something like that, you could get Orton Gillingham teacher. Some get a Wilson teacher, but Orton Gillingham does both. It does some Orton Gillingham and some, what is it called? Wilson. Yes, sir.
Perfect. So that they've really helped you, but I'm trying to see for other people, for other sort of young people out there, and then the Orton Gillingham, you mean the Wilson method, I think, and all these things, they all seem maybe complex and don't quite understand how all this works. But what's the experience like for you going through it day to day, sort of some of the challenges you've had, just your own experience and the thoughts that go on in your mind, the cogs that go on in your mind, and about sort of what things really worked for you, about being confident, about staying confident, about, you know what I mean, about sort of standing up for yourself. Could you talk through some of them?
Well, one thing with the being confident, you just have to be yourself. I mean, a lot of people sometimes they get scared when they try to talk to a new person, and you just have to put yourself out there and just have fun time. Because most of my friends that I met, one of my friends, his name is Charlie. He's one of my best friends. He actually came to visit not too long ago. If I never had confidence, I wouldn't have never met him. So I'm just happy. That's how you just make friends and having tons of fun.
Did you always have confidence, or did you develop it over time?
Well, I think I kind of developed it. I don't know how to say it.
That's right. My fault. I do that all the time.
Sure, developed it. I think I was like nervous when I was young to talk to people and a lot of stuff like
Mm.
that. But I think like when you start to like do it, like be confident and just do all that stuff, like you just start to have a lot of fun and you just like,
What do you say? You said be confident and do all that stuff. What is that stuff?
well, all that stuff is like put like do stuff that you would never do. Like if you were
Like,
scared to talking to a person or scared of sharing your story about dyslexia, go out there and tell people about your dyslexia, because if I never did that, I wouldn't be here helping people right now.
so, what is your dyslexia?
I have dyslexia and dysgraphia.
And describe it. What is it? Yeah.
Well,
Could you, like, for example, say if you're explaining to someone who has no idea what dyslexic and dysgraphia is, and and sort of like basically wondering why you have trouble with numbers, why you have trouble with words, what would you say to them?
well, how I have trouble with reading and writing, my dysgraphia, because when it comes with reading, when you read words, it's like super like it's not the words like bouncing around anywhere. Like when you try to spell like Sam, sometimes like you could say Sam, like it just doesn't come across in your head how it would to some other people. Like some words I know, some words I don't. I mean, that's just kind of what's going to happen. But it's like sometimes when you try to read words, like it comes in your brain, then you just like try to figure it out, try all these different ways, and then sometimes it doesn't work, and then you have to get some
Mm.
help. So I think that's where advocating for yourself also comes in.
Mm. And what would say, like people say, oh, is dyslexia just all negative? What would you say to that?
Oh, it's not negative at all. It's a gift more than a disability because
Mm.
when you wait, sorry, what was your question again?
So, for example, if someone, so I'm really wanting to try and do like a little role play in terms of like, so what would other kids to get for other kids to gain confidence in themselves about their dyslexia? For example, you said, "Oh, my dyslexia is like when it's not when everything moves around on the page, but it's like where I have trouble spelling a word sometimes, and it all gets jumbled up in my head." But then, for example, what are some of the strengths of dyslexia? So then other kids can sort of say, okay, here are my strengths of
Mhm.
dyslexia. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. So one of the a lot of pros about dyslexia is that we're really good at problem solving. People
Mm.
at NASA, I wore the shirt just for today. I'm like,
I love that.
yes, sir. NASA is actually trying to hire dyslexic people because they're very, very good at problem solving, and
Mm.
that's one of the ups that we have. Problem solving, because a lot of people in the Navy. I was talking to my principal about dyslexia, and she said that with dyslexia, like they want like military people want dyslexia because sometimes if they say like, hey, we want to go here, and there's like a military enemy base that they don't know about there, like sometimes the dyslexia will say, well, because they're like trying to attack or something, they say, well, if we go from the back and then go in, I think that could be a better idea.
Mm. That's amazing. That's so cool. And how have you noticed it a little bit in your life where you're like, hold on, I know the answer to that, or things seem simple to you, and for other people, things don't seem as simple. Have you noticed that in your life?
Oh, yes, sir, because some answers, like I know, like 1 plus 1 is obviously going to
Oh
be
yeah.
like stuff like that, like 5 times 5 is
Mm.
25. So I
Mm.
think that just like there's a part in your brain, I forgot what it's called, but it stores all of your memory and like stuff that you had. Like if you have a math problem, it's super hard. Like
Yeah.
15 times 15 equals that. It'll like come to you. Oh, I already learned this and I know this, so it's going to be blah blah blah.
Mm. And where do you think, because now you've got dyslexia, where do you think, like, well, not now, you've got dyslexia, you know what I mean, always had it, but where do you think in the future, do you think dyslexia is going to help you or not help you growing up?
Well, ask Richard Branson. I mean, he's just doing very good right now. So I
Mm.
think there's a ton of ups and there is some downs. Like on the computer, like sometimes I can't spell out words and all that, but that's just going to be your whole life with dyslexia.
Mm.
And some people like are watching this right now. They probably just found out they just got dyslexia and they're like super stressed and all of this, but you don't have to be stressed. I mean, it's more a gift than a disability, like we were just talking about a few minutes ago. Um, so later in your life, you're going to be just fine with dyslexia because it's just going to be even more amazing because you're going to start to learn all these more new stuff and more amazing stuff. And maybe you might want to start an Instagram and help kids like I
100%.
want to because I'm an actor, and it might take me 10 times harder to read a line than other kids, but you know what? It's just gonna it's just gonna make sure that I do better, because like I may have to work 10 times harder than other kids with acting,
Mm.
because a lot more kids could understand the reading a little bit more, but it might
Mm.
take me a little bit longer. And that's
Yeah.
totally fine. You just have to put a little bit more work in.
Yeah, because there's so many dyslexic actors out there
And
who are
also,
dyslexic.
who wants to be normal? Who wants to be normal?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Who wants to be normal? Who wants to be that you can fit in? But I was saying because there's so many like dyslexic actors. And have you heard of someone called Steven Spielberg, who's a director, really
Um,
famous?
I think I heard of it, but I know
Mm.
Tom Cruise and some of that.
Yeah, because I heard him saying one time in this interview because he was very dyslexic and he found out late in his life that he's dyslexic, and he was just like it takes me 3-4 times longer to read a script than everyone else. But he says when I read the script, he doesn't miss anything out. He reads it, and other people like read it fast, but they can miss things out. He takes time to notice every single detail, so therefore he can use it more better. He understands it more. So I think that's like so often we think that our disadvantage of taking slow or like you not be able to do things as fast can also be an advantage you mean in our life. And I want to like how did you find that acting is your passion?
Well, I love like I love to be on stage because I have this church and I always like go up in front of everyone and I just felt so fun and I just felt like myself just being up there and
Mm.
just making like jokes, having fun, and I just kind of found that with acting. Like I love to just you could be yourself, like you can make it funny with acting, and it's really fun when you book a job because like I met most of some of my best friends at doing a job.
Mm.
One of my
Yeah.
best I did like a theater thing. Her name is Hazel. She's a very nice person, and like I just met her from acting. So like I think if you want to try acting, you should totally go for it.
Yeah. And what would you say to people? Because like that one, because you're doing acting, you got human Instagram page, so you're dyslexic and you're an actor, and you're doing so much. What would you say to people to follow their passions? And if people are struggling, saying, "Oh, I don't know what I like," what advice would you give them?
Well, what you have to do when you have dyslexia,
Mm.
advocate for yourself. And some of the tips I have, if you have dyslexia and dysgraphia, I totally recommend getting a computer and getting speech to text. And there's this like
Mm.
um puzzle piece thing. I forgot what it's called, but it's basically where when you can't use any of those tactics, it reads the thing on the computer to you, and
Yeah.
it can't do it with paper. But with paper, what could help a lot? I use it with my lines a ton. It's called a
Mm.
C pen.
Yeah.
I talked about that a little bit. It's where you put something on a paper, it shines a little light, then you put it on the paper, you let it do the sentence, and then it just reads it out to you.
Mm. That's really, really useful. I know I've got a C pen somewhere in my drawer, somewhere that I had from my school. And yeah, so anyway, I've got a C pen. It's really, really good. And I'll like, so that's kind of like doing what you want to do. And what does, because you use the word self-advocating quite a lot. What does self-advocating mean?
Well, what it means is that not everyone's going to hold your hand with dyslexia and this amazing journey. So let's say you're doing like a problem and you can't find it out, and then your teacher says, "Are you doing good?" Some people will say, "Yeah, I'm doing amazing," when you're really struggling on it. So sometimes just say, "Hey, is it okay if I stay a few minutes after school because I need to learn about this math problem or need help learning about dyslexia?" Like you just need help learning about just some stuff, like help learning about papers. Like I like tell your teacher sometimes, like I'm just gonna be honest, like I have dyslexia and I was wondering if I could stay a few minutes to learn how to read. So I think that's how that could help.
I think that's such great advice, and I sort of feel sort of like I remember being your age and being so terrified to put my hand up to ask like a question because I don't know if people would laugh at me, if people think it's a stupid question. I had so much fear. So I think that for like you were going through school, especially around you, is really what stops a lot of people. So what advice would you have to people that are so scared of picking up their hand and asking for help?
Well, what you got to do is this is where advocating comes in for you. What you got to do is sometimes just say, "Oh, you know what? I'm kind of scared right now, but you know what? I'm just going to do it because I know it's going to benefit me in the longer run." And say, "You know what? It's not like the kids are going to laugh at you for it. I mean, if they do, they do. I mean, it's their loss because they're not getting extra help." So then you just raise your hand and say, "You know what, teacher, could I please have some help with reading and writing because I have dyslexia and I want to get better at this because it will help me a lot and I really think that I should learn it."
I love this so much, and I love this conversation is so valuable. I'm definitely going to save this, and you're doing an amazing job. And post it everywhere so people can see it. And the advice that you're giving is so cool because you're only 10 years old. This is amazing. And so because you're obviously on the summit, and we spoke for a lot longer there. You for like 40 minutes or something like that, and then your mum for like for you and your mum for the last 20 minutes, and we spoke about that, and it's such great story, such great information from you as well, and from your mum. And so we've got you there, and like so many other speakers about dyslexia. You mean because you're very special. You're your own person going through your own journey right now, and you've got enough confidence, and you've got enough passion about it to start sharing it. Nearly everyone doesn't. You know what I mean? Sort of like they wait until they finish project. They wait until they've come. They finish school? They've been through their struggles, and they are. Now they're helping people. But you are going through the struggles now, so I think it's amazing. So what I'm saying is, there's so many other people out there who on this summit who are speaking about dyslexia as well. So how valuable is it, would you say, for someone, someone like yourself, so someone who's got dyslexia now, who's sort of like around your age, who's experienced things, shy to put their hand up in class, like find it hard to be confident to do those hard things? How important do you think it would be for them to learn about dyslexia and sort of like attend the summit?
Well, I think about a lot of teachers, a lot of them don't understand what dyslexia is, and they need to understand because, like, a lot of students, I got this teacher asking me one time, they said, like, "I have some kids and they're dyslexic. What do you think I could help them with?" I said, "You got to pay a lot of attention to them, and you got to make them feel comfortable, like they're like at home, just doing work." One thing that I think that helped me, me and my teachers, we went in a slow pace, and then we started progressing very little, but it felt like we were still going in that slow pace, and that's why I think really helped me because if everything, when we learn new things, they said like you're like stretching your brain muscle, like you're working it out. I'm like, yes, man, because in the long run, they didn't say this, but like, it'll help you. Like sometimes if you go to college and you're trying out for a college and they say, you know what, E equals MC squared, and like, you know, like that's just so useful and it could just help a lot. So I think a lot of teachers really need to understand dyslexia because a lot of people, I go to a dyslexic school and it's amazing because it can help you a lot. Like any school that has dyslexia, it can help you a lot with your dyslexia because make sure they're Orton Gillingham certified and all that other stuff like Wilson Tutor and Orton Gillingham, and yeah.
Perfect. I really enjoyed this chat with you. Colt, is it? Colt. Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm always guessing the names. I think they're right. I've really enjoyed this chat, and I really think it won't be the last one. And by the way, guys, for everyone
Thank you.
watching this, that's completely fine. It's really my pleasure, and I really do intend to chat to you again in the very short future. And by the way, guys, anyone watching, I know we mentioned the summit and this conversation, and the reason I'm having this chat with this amazing young kid is because I reached out to him, and he's on this completely free to attend Conquering Dyslexic Summit, completely free, and it's happening on the 15th of this month of February, completely free to attend. So if you click the link in my own in my bio to have, or if you go to Colt's Instagram and message him. Have you got the link on yours? I can't remember.
I think
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think my parents are watching, so they could probably put the link in the description.
But it doesn't matter. Like, if you want to message them, it'll probably point you in the right direction. It's
yes,
for the link, and so the Colt do the little down below thing.
Yes, sir.
So yeah.
It's amazing what you're doing. I think a lot of kids are gonna get helped by this, and I just think it's amazing what you're doing.
Thank you so much, man. And it's so amazing what you're doing, and I feel.
And they're like, you know what? I have dyslexia. I shouldn't be afraid of it. It's going to be my best friend in life. So I think that's one thing that they should keep in their head if you're dyslexic.
100%, and it's all about, like you said earlier, it's about a journey. You know what I mean? It's about the journey. And the more you can realize it's a journey, and it's a journey of self-discovery and improving a dyslexia. It's not a journey of, okay, I'm having dyslexia and let's see if I can survive. It's a journey of learning and of growing of it. And don't let like challenges stop you in your life. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So it was amazing chatting to you, Colt. And so yeah, join us live on join us on the Conquering Dyslexic Summit live. Chat to you, Colt, for a long period of time, and we get to look really in depth. And I really loved it. I was looking over it the other day. And anyway, I'll catch you soon.
You too. All right.
Perfect. Okay.
Hey.
Take care, Colt. Bye. Bye, Mom, as well. I know you're watching. Take care, bye. I don't know. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Now, I got something really exciting I want to share with you. Over the last 5 years, I've been absolutely obsessed with learning everything I can about dyslexia and how they can overcome their challenges and maximize their strengths. And I've been spending many hours on many days scouring the internet to find solutions to the problems. And I found many solutions. So over quarantine, I was thinking, what if I scour the internet again? What if I go through every last resource that I've been through before and take everything that's useful and put it into one place? And that's how I filled up a lot of my time in quarantine. I scoured the internet and found all the most inspirational, all the most informational, all the most useful videos about dyslexia out there and put them all into one place, so you don't have to waste time scouring the internet to find solutions to your problems, so you know there's only one place to go. And this thing I created is called the Dyslexia Black Book. You can get it at conqueringdyslexia.net Black Book. Now, I'm wanting to offer this to you and present this to you completely for free because I want to save you time. I want to save you time so scouring the internet and not finding the answers like I've done. If you go to conqueringdyslexia.net/black book, Conquering Dyslexia Black Book, you'll find it. Or guys, you can just click the link in this episode description to find it. But yeah, guys, that's the special message I wanted to share with you today.